You think you want freedom, but you're terrified of the one thing that could actually give it to you: discipline. That word makes you uncomfortable, doesn't it? It sounds like punishment, like deprivation, like some military drill sergeant screaming in your face. But here's what nobody told you. Discipline is not your prison. It is your only way out. Every excuse you've ever made, every snooze button you've hit, every promise you've broken to yourself, they're not protecting you. They're building the walls of your cage, brick by brick. Wake up right now. Today, we're going to expose the brutal truth about why most people will never taste real freedom. We'll uncover why the disciplined life isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. And by the end, you'll understand that every morning you choose comfort over commitment, you're not relaxing, you're surrendering. Your life is a battlefield, and discipline is your only weapon. The comfortable trap. Let me ask you something brutal. When was the last time you did something hard when you didn't have to? Not for a paycheck, not because someone was watching, just because you said you would. Most people can't remember, because most people have been seduced by the most dangerous lie of modern life, that comfort is the goal. Think about it. Every advertisement, every product, every app on your phone is designed to make things easier, smoother, more convenient. But here's what that convenience costs you. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. The more comfortable you get, the weaker you become. Your ancestors survived famines, wars, and winters that would kill you in a week, and now you can't go 30 minutes without checking your phone. You can't skip one meal without feeling like a victim. You've been domesticated, trained to seek pleasure and avoid pain at all costs, and that training is destroying your potential. The comfortable life isn't the good life. It's the slow death. It's atrophy of the soul dressed up as self-care. But here's what makes this truly terrifying: the mediocrity war. Life isn't a vacation. It's not a party you get to attend. Life is a war, a relentless daily battle against mediocrity and the thousand excuses your mind generates to keep you average. Every single morning you wake up and face the same enemy. It's not your boss, it's not the economy, it's not your circumstances, it's you, the you that wants to hit snooze, the you that says you'll start Monday, the you that always finds a reason why today isn't the day. That voice has been winning for years, and every time it wins, you lose a piece of yourself you'll never get back. The great Stoic emperor understood this 2,000 years ago. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. He was running an empire, fighting wars, and dealing with plague. And his first battle each day, getting out of bed. If this is making you see your daily struggles differently, hit like and subscribe to keep exposing the uncomfortable truths about success. Because what comes next explains exactly why most people lose this war. Feelings are liars. Here's the brutal distinction between winners and losers. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not connections. It's that winners act despite how they feel. Read that again. They act despite how they feel. You think successful people wake up motivated every day. You think they feel like grinding when their muscles ache and their mind screams to give up. Welcome to the club. Everyone feels tired. Everyone feels discouraged. Everyone has days when they want to quit everything and disappear. The difference is what you do with those feelings. Losers obey them. Winners ignore them. Your feelings are not commands. They're suggestions from the weakest part of yourself, and you've been treating them like law. How many workouts have you skipped because you didn't feel like it? How many opportunities have you missed because you felt scared? How many years have you wasted because you felt like tomorrow would be different? Feelings lie. Motivation is a myth sold to people who don't want to accept that discipline is the only path. You'll never feel ready. You'll never feel like doing the hard things. The question is whether you'll do them anyway. And that brings us to a truth that will flip everything you believe. Discipline is freedom. Here's what most people misunderstand so completely it ruins their lives. Being disciplined doesn't mean giving up your freedom. Being disciplined means having freedom. Real freedom. The person who masters themselves masters the universe. Think about it: when you're undisciplined with money, who controls your life? Your debts do. When you're undisciplined with your health, who controls your energy? Your cravings do. When you're undisciplined with your time, who controls your days? Everyone but you. Now flip it. When you get up early, you own your morning before the world can demand anything from you. When you don't drink, you own your clarity and your weekends. When you don't smoke, you own your lungs, your money, and your future. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. This isn't about feeling superior. This isn't about judgment. This is about one simple, undeniable truth. When you control yourself, nothing else can control you. The disciplined person walks through the world unchained. The undisciplined person is a slave who thinks they're free. Which one are you? But discipline isn't just a concept, it's a practice. The daily muscle. Discipline is not something you have or don't have. It's not a personality trait you were born with or without. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it only grows when you use it. Every time you do what you said you would, especially when you don't feel like it, that muscle gets stronger. Every time you break a promise to yourself, it atrophies, gets weaker, eventually disappears. This is why small disciplines matter so much. Small wins build warriors. Making your bed when you wake up, doing those 10 push-ups you promised, putting down your phone at the time you set. These seem insignificant, but they're not. They're training. They're teaching your brain that your word means something, that when you decide to do something, it happens, period. Every promise you keep to yourself builds the person you're becoming. The problem is most people wait for big moments to be disciplined. They think they'll suddenly develop iron will when it really matters. But discipline doesn't work that way. You can't bench press 300 pounds on day one. You build to it, rep by rep, day by day. The question isn't whether you can be disciplined. The question is whether you're training that muscle or letting it waste away. Speaking of training, there's a path you need to understand. The two paths. There are two paths through life, the easy path and the hard path. And here's the brutal irony that destroys most people. The easy path is actually longer and more painful. Taking the easy path with your health means junk food now and heart disease later. Taking the easy path with your finances means spending now and poverty later. Taking the easy path with your relationships means avoiding hard conversations now and loneliness later. The bill always comes due. You don't avoid pain by choosing comfort. You just delay it and multiply it. The hard path is actually shorter. It hurts upfront, but that pain purchases something the easy path never can: pride, strength, results. Choose the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. Every morning you face this choice: workout or sleep in, healthy meal or fast food, deep work or distraction. And the compounding effect of these choices over months, years, decades. It's the difference between someone who built a life they're proud of and someone full of regret, wondering where the time went. The hard path is paved with temporary discomfort, but leads to permanent achievement. But there's something you need to know about what discipline actually costs. The price of freedom. Here's a truth that will either set you free or make you furious. Every freedom has a price, and that price is always paid in discipline. You want financial freedom. The price is years of disciplined saving, investing, and saying no to things you can afford but don't need. You want physical freedom, the energy to play with your kids, climb mountains, live fully. The price is disciplined nutrition and consistent training. You want creative freedom to do work that matters. The price is disciplined practice when no one's watching and no one cares. Freedom costs discipline always. Most people want the destination without the journey. They want the six-pack without the workouts, the business without the risk, the relationship without the vulnerability. But the universe doesn't work that way. Freedom is never free. Someone always pays the price. The question isn't whether you'll pay. The question is whether you'll pay now with discipline or later with regret. One builds your life, the other destroys it. The price is the same. The currency is different. Choose wisely. Because now we need to talk about who you're really fighting. Your inner demons. Discipline isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the doing. Every disciplined act is a battle against your inner demons. The demon of laziness that whispers you deserve rest you haven't earned. The demon of fear that convinces you to stay small. The demon of instant gratification that sacrifices your future for a moment's pleasure. Every day, you face these demons every single day, and most people don't even realize they're fighting. They've surrendered so long ago they think giving in is just who they are. But it's not who you are, it's who you've allowed yourself to become. The person who can't resist the snack, who can't put down the phone, who can't follow through on promises. That's not your identity. That's the result of losing too many battles. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. The beautiful truth is that the same process that made you weak can make you strong. Victory by victory, battle by battle. When you win one small fight against yourself, it becomes easier to win the next. Your demons don't disappear, but they do get weaker as you get stronger. But here's where most people make a critical error. Identity over goals. Most people fail at discipline because they're focused on the wrong thing. They set goals. Lose 20 pounds, make 6 figures, read 50 books, and goals are fine, but goals don't transform you. Identity does. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. As James Clear brilliantly observed, the person who says I want to run isn't the same as the person who says I am a runner. The goal-focused person needs motivation. The identity-focused person just does what runners do. They run. Be the person now. When discipline becomes your identity, you don't need willpower. You don't need someone to push you. You don't need the perfect conditions. You just do the thing because that's who you are. The question changes from will I work out today to who do I want to become? And when you're building an identity, skipping one workout isn't skipping one workout. It's casting a vote against the person you're trying to become. Every disciplined action is a vote for your future self. Every excuse is a vote against them. What are you voting for today? There's one more thing you need to understand. Your destiny choice. Everything we've discussed comes down to one simple, terrifying question. Do you control your life or does life control you? Because that's really what discipline is about. It's not about perfection. It's not about punishment. It's about agency. It's about waking up every morning knowing that you, not your feelings, not your circumstances, not your past, you decide what happens next. Most people are passengers in their own lives. They react, they respond, they cope, they manage, but they never truly direct. Discipline is the steering wheel that puts you back in control. When you're disciplined, you don't hope things work out. You make them work out. You don't wish you had the body, the business, the relationships you want. You build them, day by day, choice by choice. And yes, it's hard. Some days it will feel impossible. Your body will ache. Your mind will rebel. Everything inside you will scream to quit. But in those moments, those painful, crucial moments, you get to choose. Will you be the person who surrenders to comfort, or the person who fights for their future? Choose now. Because every moment you don't choose discipline, life chooses for you. And life doesn't care about your dreams. Listen to me carefully. This is your moment. The person you become in the next year will be determined by the battles you win or lose starting today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when conditions are perfect. Today, discipline is not a burden, it's a gift. The gift of self-respect, the gift of integrity, the gift of a life you built instead of one that happened to you. Every great person who ever walked this earth understood this truth. With self-discipline, almost anything is possible. They weren't more talented than you. They weren't luckier than you. They were simply willing to do what you've been avoiding, to feel the discomfort you've been running from, to fight the battles you've been surrendering. The difference between who you are and who you could become is discipline. That's it. That's everything. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for permission. You have all the power you need. It's sitting right there inside you, waiting to be unleashed. The question is whether you'll use it. If you made it this far, comment "unleashed" to prove you're ready to take control of your life. Your mind is either programmed for discipline or defeat. Now you know how to reprogram it. If this exposed something in you, subscribe. There's more to uncover.